Example 2 says determine the cubic function rule to modify the display of cans in example 1. Well, guess what? We just did that. We just did that to find the equation for number 1. So let's scoot on down. Let's look at you try it, number 2. So if you want to know how to do that, back up, look at the previous example. You try it, number 2. Excellent. I want you to pause and see how you can do number 2. Generate a cubic function for this model, and what size cutout produces the tray with the greatest volume. Interesting. Which we can probably look at the chart and tell you that. But here we go. Have at it. See what you can do. Okay, let's work through this. So I'm going to start off by just finding the differences. Real quick. 100 minus 0 is 100. 28 minus 100 is 28. 108 minus 28 is 108 minus 128 is negative 20. 64 minus 108 is, let's do this, 64 minus 108 is negative 44. 20 minus 64 is negative, it's also negative 44. 20 minus 64 is also negative 44. And this would be negative 20. That makes me think I did something wrong somewhere. But maybe not. We'll go with it, see what happens. But here we go. 28 minus 100, 28 minus 100 equals negative 72. Negative 20 minus 28 equals negative 48. Negative 44 minus 20 minus negative 20 is also negative 24. Negative 44 minus negative 44 is 0. Negative 20 minus 20 minus 44 equals a positive 24 as well. Okay. Okay, I think I'm seeing the pattern now. Negative 48 minus negative 72 equals a positive 24. Negative 24 minus negative 48 is also 24. 0 minus 24 is 24. 24 minus 0 is 24. Alright. There we go. So, your third difference is the same. Mr. Hunter was just getting freaked out that it seemed as if it was getting smaller and then it started getting bigger again. I was seeing weird things, but it worked. It did. So, the volume of the tray, there's your information. Let's write the cubic function. So A is your third difference divided by 6. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. There's your A value. B is your second difference, which in this case is negative 72, minus your third difference, which is 24, divided by 2. So negative 72 minus 24 equals 96 divided by 2 equals 48. C equals your very first one minus, it's negative 48 by the way. What did I do? It's not 48. Should be 96. Oh, divided by 2. Negative 96 divided by 2 is negative 48. Yeah, I'm sorry. So, C value is very first difference, minus 4, minus negative 48, which that's really a positive. So that's 100 plus 44, which is 144. Feel free to put that in your calculator if you don't believe me. I wouldn't blame you with my mistakes I've made the past 20 minutes. And then D is your starting point. So when X is 0, Y in this case is also 0. So we've got our equation. Y equals 4x to the third power. Come on, scoot over. Minus 48x squared plus 144x plus 0, which we don't need to write. So that is our cubic equation. All right. Then they ask you the question, what size cutout produces the tray with the greatest volume? Well, if they want to know the size cutout that has the greatest volume, so they're asking you for which of the x's gives me the greatest volume, which we normally have to solve that backwards, but in this case, it's going to be somewhere between 128 and 108. So we're going to go with a 2-inch cutout. It's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3 inches. All right, and the reason I say 128 to 108 versus 100 to 128 is simply because 108 is bigger than 100. So that up there is where it's going to be the biggest. So it's going to be somewhere between those two. So I'll say between 2 and 3 inch squares. He's going to give you the greatest volume. Probably something closer to 2 than 3. There we go. Let's pause and let's go try example 3.